Hey, there we are, or here I am, or whatever. Ugh, do some stuff around here. I have no idea what I'm gonna do right now. This 109's been sitting here all week, has gotten no love, but we'll take care of that in a little bit. I do want to spend some time talking about a couple of things. Let me see if I can pull them up here. Where we at? There we are. Let me go to the desktop. Going to the desktop. I'm falling. Okay. Here we are. So, I've been watching. Some of you guys may have been watching this, maybe not, but David Ongst. I don't know if that's right. I don't know David personally, but he has been doing this Tomcat Tales project. And if you haven't seen this, I suggest you take the time to look it up. He's been posting in other groups, but this is where this is where it all originates. And basically what he's doing is he's taken the tails off a 48 scale F-14 and making a display of just the tails. Basically the idea being that, hey, instead of building 100 different F-14s, I can just do a display of the tails, because other than that, they're pretty much all the same. The tail decoration is really what differentiates them all. So there we have it. So my suggestion is to come in. So it's the F-14 Tomcat die-cast and plastic scale models group. As I say, he is cross-posted it to others, but this is where the beginning is. And you can go in here, you can look at these pictures, and you get the gist of what he's doing here. So these are sets, and he somehow indexed these together. There's a pin in here, something I don't remember what. He explains the whole process, and then he had them cast in resin, I believe. So I don't know if he has them all in an album. What's going on? I'm gonna have to kick everybody off the internet, huh? I can do that. I have the power. Let me try it again here. And he's got one where he's actually laying the thing out. Here's another interesting picture. He's got all these ones up on pegs here, and here's another group. Just a really cool project. So, so this is kind of his idea of laying them out, and I can't say enough about how much I like it. That's a cool project, man. That's a cool project. So David, if you happen to see this, that's a cool project. I love it. Great project. All right. Moving on. So, yeah. So anyway, there's that. The other thing this week that has been all over the place is the, and you may or may not have heard of this yet because it's only been a couple of days, but the Hong Kong models 148, new tool 148 B-17G early. And of course there's all kinds of buzz about it, and I forget, I'm supposed to see it like in November or something. Actually I can look it up here. But my this could be a windfall for those of us who like the monogram kit, or who can afford the monogram kit, or who are willing to pay for the monogram kit. Let's see here. This it? HK official. Is this the one? Is this the one? Is this the one? Is this the one? Here it is. Okay, hang on here. Let me blow this up here. All right. And let me hang on a second. Hang on a second. Mute. Wow, it's like a zombie in the background. Okay. Let me go over here and look at this. Actually, teaser, hang on a second. I need to change this title real quick. You guys can watch me change the title. Change the title. F-14 Tails, comma, HK B-17, comma, Me109E-1. Boom. And go there, done, save. Okay. And then I can go back so that I can see the comments. I hated this. YouTube puts you in this loop. And it's like, where am I? Okay, go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. There we are. Okay. And then I can do pop out chat. And there I am. All right, so let me go back here to workspace. I always feel like I'm falling when I see that. So you read this right. HK Models 148 B-17G early version. Released in October of 2019. Now, it's interesting that there's a lot of comments over here. You may or may not have seen this. Bob Johnson. He pops up around once in a while, and he worked for Monogram as he says here, and it's interesting that he thinks it's interesting that there are probably some rip-offs here. Clayton Ching, why reinvent the wheel when you can steal someone else's work? Yeah. I wonder if his middle name's Cha-Ching. Sorry, Clayton, I couldn't help myself. Anyway, so, I don't know if you're familiar with the story about the Monogram versus Revell B-17, but the Monogram actually, basically the Revell kit, the difference in size between the two kits is about the thickness of the plastic. So Monogram basically called Revell out, saying that, we know you guys copied this. We're not going to take you to court, but don't let this ever happen again, is the way I heard it. Or the way the story goes. So anyway, but here we are. And, who knows? The 32nd scale kits are not perfect. but no kid is, as most of us know or are aware of. So, B-17G early production. The interesting thing to me is down here it says the B-17 series. Okay, in order to have a series, you have to have more than one, right? And I would assume, in my head, a series would have to be the same scale. And if they've already done an F in 32nd, why wouldn't they do the F in 48? So anyway, so here's the two markings that come with it. Here's some of the CAD drawings. It does have full Bombay. There's a lot of stuff that's similar. There's a lot of stuff that's better than the monogram kit. But honestly, monogram did. The younger modelers give monogram a bunch of grief in a lot of cases, but I guess some of the older ones do too. But they were pretty good for their day. Well, even for today, the scale wise and stuff, they're pretty good. They're pretty dead on in detail and whatnot. It looks like the turbochargers are one piece with the wing, huh? Why would they do that? Anyway, so I guess here's my feelings about it. I'm predicting this is going to be $150 range. That's half of what the B-17s cost, or the 32nd scale ones cost. And they may be more. They may be $180 or something. I don't know. I'm just guessing. And I don't, for my dollar, I'll buy $15 or $20 monogram B-17G off a guy at a show all day long before I spend $150 or more on a 48 scale B-17. That's just me. Sorry, it's not worth it to me. If it was $100, maybe sub $100, yeah, I think about it a little harder. They were predicting when the monogram B-29 got reissued that it was going to be like $80 or $90, and I'm like, that's insane. That kid ain't worth that kind of money. I don't think the $40 or whatever retail they get for the 24s and stuff anymore is realistic. But whatever, right? So those really, in my opinion, are the two big things going on this week in the hobby. But I probably missed out on a lot though too. But let me jump over here. And all right, I'm gonna guess that Jeff is checking his auctions. And that's cool. That's a good thing. So I'm just gonna, the only thing I plan on doing tonight was working on this 109, masking it up and jaw jacking, running my mouth. That's my plan. So, and maybe we'll work on the Coral Sea a little bit. I did get, actually, let me talk about that a little bit. So I was looking for a case for the F-16. And for something, that thing is about 9 by 13, give or take. So I was looking for cases, like 9 by 13 by 6 high, or so, maybe a little higher, whatever. Anyway, I think it's 5 high to the tail. Anyway, they're ridiculous. I mean, freaking, $100. I mean, it's just nuts. So Well, I'll show you what I did. I'll show you what I did, and then we'll. I haven't got it done yet, but I'll show you what I bought, and I'll tell you where I'm going to go with it, and then we'll just go from there. How's that? So it is here. Yeah. Okay. Come on, show me a picture. Come on. There it is. All right. Show you the desktop here. Boom. Okay. 10-gallon aquaculture glass aquarium, $15 at Wally World. It is. Where's the dimensions again? 22 by 12 by 13.5 high. Now it sounds really high, but it actually looks pretty good. It gives you enough height to where if you're looking at it from the side of the ends, you don't really notice the top. So that's good, I think. You know, it's the top's out of the way. So my plan is to remove this. Let me explain something. So first of all, these panels, you know, they're sealed together with whatever the hell it is. You know, it's RTV. One of those acronyms. I think it's just clear RTV. So the thing is, they did a crappy job. I mean, it's all over the place. So I'm gonna have to go in here and clean it up. I'm gonna cut it out here. You know, I'm gonna leave the top frame. This is the top. I'm gonna leave the top frame on it for structural reasons. But I'm gonna cut all the excess RTV out that's all over the glass and stuff here, and it's past the edge here. I'm gonna cut that all out so it looks clean. I'm going to try and remove the bottom frame here. And I'm going to put some LED lights in here. And then I'm going to take a piece of MDF or plywood, one or the other. I've got both. Maybe I'll use the plywood and just varnish it and stuff. I was going to do like a runway, you know, use some like 1200 grit sandpaper or something. But maybe I should just do the wood. I'll have to think about that. But anyway, and I'll just route a channel in it and set this in it. That's the plan. So, and I'll have, you know, by the time it's said and done, I've got the wood already. The light thing will cost maybe $5. You know, I'll have less than $25 in it, and it'll look pretty cool, I think. And if not, I tried. Right, I'll do something else. You can only, you know, what's the worst? The worst thing that's going to happen is it doesn't work, and you have to do something else, and that's okay. Screwing up is easy to do, but. So, you know, whatever. Okay, so enough of me. Jeff Steven was messaging sellers. Yeah. Yeah, were you being nice to him, Jeff? You want too damn much money for that thing. What the hell's wrong with you? I know you would do that because I would. All right, let's see here. Always. What do you mean $27 for shipping? What's wrong with you? Okay, no. There we go. I'm going to put me in here like this. Yeah, we can. Why not? And I really need to tighten that camera up, but it's okay for now. It'll work. Okay, so like I said, I haven't touched this thing. So what I'm going to do here, so this is a two-tone paint job. This is literally just two colors. It's RLM 65 on the bottom and RLM 02 on the top. And I know that may not be, the colors may not be exactly right. Sue me. Sue me, okay? I don't care. It's fine. So I'm going to tape up the bottom, and it's a hard line edge. So I'm just going to tape it off and get it ready for the RLMO2. I'm not going to spray that tonight, but it'll be ready to spray, and maybe I'll spray it tomorrow. Who knows? And we'll go from there. So I need to take my little 3 view here and look at it and say, okay, what do I got? So it literally goes straight across through the radius. I mean, it cuts straight across here like this. Cuts straight through here to just below those. Oh man, this is piece of cake. Piece of cake. So watch me screw it up. I can do that. So anyway, I'm oh, what shall I say? I'm having a bit of a, what is he doing? I'm smoothing out the top of my pad and getting some of the rough stuff and the dust and stuff off of it so that I can stick this down. That's what I'm doing. As silly as that sounds. So I know I've been talking for a few weeks about changing things up on the channel and whatnot, and I was rolling pretty good, and then I got kind of sideswiped by some unexpected things, and I don't, inch and a half, I don't oh, what should I say? I don't want to well, I guess what I should say is off the bat is I don't know a whole lot right now. I will know more next week. Let me say that. But I'm kind of, I don't know if I said anything last week, but so my doctor decided, him and I were having a conversation about some stuff, and he's like, well, let's do some precautionary tests. And they ran an EKG on me there in the office, and so what happened is I asked him about upping my activity level, and if there was, you know, if he thought that was fine, or you know, if that was an issue. And he said, well, you know, we should probably get your heart checked out. And put me, and they gave me an EKG there in the office. And they said, well, doesn't seem anything bad, but we're going to go ahead and have you go to the hospital next week and get a stress test. Now, I've had one of these before. The first time I had it, I couldn't finish it. And I'm not, I'm a big guy. I've had my share of red meat and stuff, but I'm not What am I saying? I've been heavier. That's what I'm trying to say. So right now I'm sitting about 240, and I've been as high as 265 anyway over the years. So, so like I said, so he decided we're going to send you down for a stress test. So while they're giving me the stress test, the guy that's actually running the machine is like, well, you know, I don't see anything immediately concerning, but I'm not the guy doing the analysis. So I went home feeling pretty confident that everything was fine. Right? I mean, why wouldn't you? So I was a little taken aback when I got the report back, and it was like, well, your heart's not pumping as good as it should be, and therefore we want to do an echocardiogram on you. And I'm not telling you not to do anything, but take it easy until we get all this stuff done. Okay. I thought I was fine. So, see, ladies, this is why guys don't ask questions at the doctor's office. We don't want to go, and if you get us to go, we're not going to ask any questions because we don't want to know. No. Well, yeah, that's probably more true. Probably more true than it should be. But anyway, I'm going to use the white stuff there. So all I can really say is it is what it is, and I'm not, you know, I'm not gonna say it's not a little stressful, because it is. The good news is my heart's not enlarged or anything. It's just not exhaling. It's like one of the lower chain. Either that they're well, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But so the concern that there's either some hardening of one or both of the lower chambers, I guess, or that there's a blockage somewhere. So yeah, I mean, it's heart disease runs in the family, so it's not you know, a total shock for a doctor to say, hey, your heart's screwed up. Yeah, well, it was going to happen at some point. But it's kind of hard to hear. You know, it's like, crap, I knew it was coming one of these days, but I really was hoping that I would dodge the bullet somehow. So yeah, so bottom line, that's the whole story. It's we'll see. You know, it's a little nerve-wracking, but we'll see. Okay, so what am I gonna do here? This is the Tamiya, like 1mm pinstriping tape or curvy tape or whatever, and it's pretty cool stuff. What am I gonna do here? So I have to do these edges, and all right, this is gonna be kind of tricky. I'm going to take this. I'm going to take a somewhat large piece of this, I'm going to put it right here. And I'm going to see what exactly I need here. That is... about 3/4. So I'll call it 7/8. Believe it or not, I'm getting this organized little by little. So I have these drawers now, and now that I'm putting stuff away after I use it, I don't know where it is. Right? Where is that? Oh, I put it back where it's supposed to be. Well, why would you do that? All right, so, and I'm just gonna lay that on there. So the Germans, when they camoed these things, being Germans, made it as difficult as it possibly could be. No. So they keep the lower color you know, it's all oh, what am I thinking? It's all like exactly where it's supposed to be. There's no there's no guessing. There's no, well, it might they might have done one thing or another. No, it's this the way it was. Oh, come on. It keeps gripping the tweezers. I don't want you to grip the tweezers. Trying to get it in place before it sticks, which is not the easiest. There, okay. So now I'm just going to come in here. So now I've got the bottom of that strut mast. Can you see that? You didn't see any of that, did you? Because of the way this camera is. Let me adjust here. Is that better? That's probably better, huh? Okay. So I'm going to cut another piece. So I'm thinking, as far as the channel goes, I'm thinking a couple of things. One is I'm thinking of doing like a YouTube group build, but so if you're familiar at all with Facebook group builds, they're fun. You should do one if you haven't. We didn't see it, but it's okay. We were there in spirit. Right. So you're seeing it now. This is now. All right. So the bottom. So that's just the bottom of the struts. That if you can see the top of the struts, and they're not masked. And reason being is because those are the topside color. Because the Germans are crazy. Because this bottom side color is going to go straight across here, just below that strut, and all the way back. And I mean, it's a straight line. It's a hard edge straight line. Why? Because they're Germans, and it's German engineering, and that's the way they do things. It's that simple. So, how do I want to do this? Do I want to do this with one solid, one piece of, I know how I'm going to do it. Okay. So what do we got? This is 3.5. We'll call it 3.5. I'll just lay that down there like that. 3.5. If you're like me and sometimes you like to spend ludicrous amounts of money on little hand tools, these Incra, if you've ever done woodworking and stuff or machining and stuff, you've probably seen these, but Incra rules, these are pretty cool. I have this one, I have this one, and I have a one that's like a T-square around here somewhere. They're expensive. They're, you know, this little thing is like $25. Well, I don't know now. They might be more than that now. But they are really, really, really nice. They're very what should I say? They're very sorry, I'm trying to I can't I guess I can't cuss at myself and think at the same time. No. But they're very nice rulers, and they're one of the nicest things about them is that they have, if you're doing layouts on wood and stuff, they they actually have holes in them so you can do your pencil marks. And they are precise, let me tell you. So, like I said, if you like to spend ludicrous amounts of money on tools once in a while, there you go. There's something you can spend ludicrous amounts of money on. Well, heck, that went down really, really, really easy, which worries me. Okay, now this is good because now I've got somewhere to line up on this side. So I don't know if you can see there, but all I did right here is I just figured out where I want that line to meet, and that's where I that was my point. So I went from here, so I lined up from here, the bottom of the strut, to right where I wanted to go. Now, I just realized, is that on the bottom? It is on the bottom of the strut. Okay. Now, this is going to sound pretty stupid, but something to remember when you're masking is make sure you're masking on the right side of the line. I cannot tell you how many times I have done a really nice masking job and then realized I had masked the wrong side of the demarcation line. So I left the color that I wanted to preserve unmasked. And you look at it and you're like, oh, come on, really? Did I just do that? Yeah, you did. You did just do that. Okay, so let's see here. See if we can get this one in the right spot. And right there. And that might be a little high. So I'm going to pull this back here. I'm going to pull this. So I'm going to pull it almost all the way back and then put it down again. And that's much better. Yeah, it was way too high. And that's perfect there. Okay. I'm just burnishing with this Q-tip. That's all I'm doing. It's not, I'm not doing anything, anything other than burnishing a little bit. Okay, that was, so this side is a little bit lower than the other side. You know what? You can't see both sides at the same time, so don't tell anybody and you're fine. Right? Right? Just don't tell anybody. You're going to forget about it eventually. No, you won't. Every time you pick it up, you go, that line's just not the same on both sides. You won't remember what color you used on it, but you'll remember that. Okay, so where are we at? So now we need to do the tail planes, and I'm not gonna get too crazy with those. You know, you're just trying to keep the overspray from the new color off of the old color. We'll call this the old color. That's all you're trying to do, is keep the overspray off. So you don't necessarily have to get too crazy with it. So what I'm doing here is I'm doing the back of the horizontal stabilizers, or the bottom, I mean, and I want to get that right up against there. So let me put this here for a second. And where's my magnifier? Oh, right here. Oh. Okay. Now I'm putting these on mainly for the light, so that I can see down here in this shadow and see how messed up I am, and that's not even close to straight. And I don't know, Jeff, you built a lot of 109s. How do you do this? Or do you just put the struts on afterwards? Should I put the struts on afterwards? Am I doing it the wrong way? Oh, what? Hang on. Wait, I turned my back and I missed the info about the YouTube build. Oh, so what I was saying about the YouTube build is that we could, I'm trying to figure out a way to do it would be like a group build, except it would be different because it would be an online what do I want to say? Like like a club, like an online club. It would be, I guess that's what I'm saying. It would be where, we could all like do a conference call, like on Zoom or something, do like a real-time conference call once a week and build yeah, that's the ticket. That's kind of what I was thinking. I don't know. I thought the struts were RLM 76 too. 76. I mean 65. I think the tops of them are the topside color, aren't they? If I remember right. Them crazy Germans. I'm not claiming this is the best way to mask this, because it's probably not. I'm trying to come up with, and I'll probably do the other side differently because I'm trying to come up with a plan here. My thought was I would do this here, and then I would fill in the inside here with the vinyl stuff. Yeah, 65. So you're thinking there's 65 top and bottom. That's what you're thinking. And you could very well be right. And I could very well be wrong. It just doesn't want to lay down right there. Get down. Okay. All right. So yeah, I think, I don't know. Is that latex going to go in there like that? We're going to try it because that's definitely the easiest way, I think. So we were watching 3 Days of the Condor last night with what? Robert Redford? Is that guy's name? Like, wow, 1975. You know what? It was a pretty good movie, though. I'd never seen it before. It was pretty good. I don't know. They should have just quit making movies like, you know, after about, I don't know, 1989 or something. Just stop. You're just making crap now. Just stop. What is this new Rambo movie? It's like, seriously? Come on. And the new Top Gun movie. I always give my kids a hard time. Get your own stories. Why do you keep robbing mine? Why do you keep robbing my generation? Well, you guys robbed them from other generations. Well, yeah, but that's not the point. Shh. We don't talk about that. What's the run rule of Fight Club? You don't talk about Fight Club. They went, oh, I saw that. They want to remake Princess Bride. It's like, really? Come on. Well, you know, I boycotted the new True Grit. Well, it's not new anymore. Because I was like, I'm sorry, but no. You know, there are just some things in life that you just, no, you don't get to do that. And I know I heard it was good and it was closer to the book than the first. I don't care if it was closer to the book than the first movie. I don't care. I never read the book. I don't care about the book. You know? I'm sorry. I don't. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. You don't. There are some things you don't touch. that's just the way it is. And interestingly enough, I don't know that I necessarily feel that way about music, because there's some. I've heard multiple remakes in my life that are very, very, very well done, and better than the originals, in my opinion. But who the hell am I? Who cares? Who cares if it's your opinion, Deck? What difference does that make? Nobody cares what you think. Wise. Very wise. You find yourself caring what I think? Run. Do something. There's a good possibility that putting too much effort into things that come out of my mouth could get you on the TSA hot list. Okay. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to come back here with this stuff. This is latex, liquid latex. And it's messy as all get out. But it works pretty good. I just cut that off because I'm going to use it as an applicator. Yeah, Princess Bride. It's like, what is wrong with you retards? Just stop. You know why? Because their movies, their stories don't make money. Okay. And you don't really need to worry about this stuff getting all over because it comes right off. Not a big deal. So I'm going to come in here and just pull it around. The big thing is you want to make sure that you don't get too much because it'll run like crazy. It's thin. It hardens up pretty quick, but don't kid yourself. It's thin. It doesn't harden up. It dries up. What am I saying? Harden up. It dries up. But I'm going to use the liquid property of it to try and get it in. Get it to flow in under the strut here. That's my plan anyway. It doesn't seem to be working, so let's do this. There we go. That'll get it up there. This is a really crappy knife handle. I need to get rid of this. I highly recommend that you get in the habit of throwing away dangerous tools. Another Revell 110 G2 that I don't need. $10. Hey, look at that. Look at that. That's the way you do it. That's how you end up with 300 model kits. So anyway, as far as the channel goes, so my thought was that we'd continue with the builds and but I might do the builds as a pre-recorded series instead of doing the live thing, and then do a do like the live group thing or whatever. If I can figure out how to do that. Okay. Now you might think that that was the hardest part. And I would like to think that, but I don't think that's true. I think that there's going to be other stuff that's going to be more of a pain in the neck than that. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. So now what do I do here? So about now I'm wishing I hadn't put the gear struts and the pitot tube on. That's the guy with 198.3, Edward 198.5. You got Myers decals and an ICM JU88D1. A JU88D1. Is that diesel? Is that early war diesel? Are you going to shoot the wheel well RLMO2? No, I'm not. Because it's on the bottom and nobody cares. Right? Oh, that's that high altitude recon thing? Is that what that is? See, now the only people who know that I'm not going to paint the wheel wells RLMO2 are you and me and everybody else watching this video or that ever sees it. And be like, that guy's lazy. You're right. I am. I don't care. See, that's the thing. I don't care. And it's highly feasible in my world that it went to depot for an overhaul and they just shot the whole underside in 65 and said, forget about it. And there were people that would say, the Luftwaffe would have never done that. And I would say, well, the Army did all kinds of funky stuff with their tanks. But, so it's entirely possible, in my opinion, that yeah, anyway. So what do I need? I need about that much. Okay. So this side's going to be simple because the pitot tube's not over here. So all I got to do here is take it right up to the... No. I'm going to take it right up to the strut and just lay it in there like that. Bring it out to the end. Man, that's a lot more. I cut that a lot longer than I needed to. Okay, and I'm just going to let my demarcation line fall where it may. Just like that. If you look at a lot of the old photographs, you'll see where the upper color actually wraps around the it actually wraps around to the lower side, especially on the early war stuff, which is interesting. This knife blade sucks. It is not sharp. That's okay. Now we can use this piece here that I just took, that I just cut off of there. We can use right here next to this pedo, just like that. Right? Boom. Perfect. Okay. Oh, look at this. Isn't this, can we do this right here? Is it too big? I don't know. Well, we'll use it for something. We'll leave it right here. Okay, so now we just need something not quite as long as that. Is it 9 o'clock already? Wow. Had to go get new cell phones today. What a pain in the butt. It's not a pain in the butt. It's fine. It's just, you know, being out in a rural area, about the only thing that works. Well, the only thing that works up at my wife's school is Sprint network. So the only way that I can get phones that allows me to keep in touch with my kids and my wife is to use something on the Sprint network, and I like prepaid phones. I'm not a big fan of I'm not a big fan of getting a phone, you know. I'd rather pay for it ahead. Is what I'm saying. And so, let's set this down here. So we had to go to the big city and go do all that crazy stuff, which is always a pain in the butt. Well, look at that. And I'll just take a little piece of this. And I'll go like that. Oh, really? Really? Did you just do that to me? Now you realize it's taken me, what, half an hour so far, whatever, to do this, that this masking tape, this painting the effort colors is going to take 35 seconds. Something stupid. You know, it's not going to take long at all. So this is all kind of annoying sometimes. It's like, really? Come on. Can we just paint it and be done with it? What do I do here? I'm just gonna put this like right here. I'm just using this because I don't want to waste this piece of tape. It's like, where can I put this? That'll work. There we go. Okay. So yeah, so realistically at this point, I can just start filling in with different pieces. And I won't really worry too much about the gear struts and stuff. I'll mask the outside of the struts. I'm not gonna worry too much about the rest of it though. Let's see here. Get that down. So I need to make sure this gets knocked down right here. Like that. Down here. Now you could say, man, that's a lot of tape. And you'd be right, it is. But it sucks when you get overspray somewhere you didn't want it to be. It sucks bad when you get overspray someplace you didn't want it to be. So that's kind of where this whole exercise comes from, because that is like the worst thing in the world to have to deal with overspray somewhere. And I could use the latex up here, but if you can use tape, it's a hell of a lot easier to get off later. The latex works, and like I said, I did it in there so that I could get around those struts, but it's not always the easiest thing to get off. It's not super difficult, but you know, it's just it's just some things are just a hassle, and you just don't want to have to deal with them. I'm just cutting that off. Cutting this little piece off. Oh, look, it'll fit right there, won't it? Yes, it will. Kind of. Pretty close. And, you know, if it looks like I'm just grabbing whatever scraps I can, that's exactly what I'm doing. This is all going to end up in the trash. All of it. So, you know, if you can use a piece somewhere or something, do it. It's all going to end up in the trash. Okay. Where is... There you are. I need to get some of this stuff out of my way. There we go, another piece I can use somewhere else. Right here. Just like that. Now, what's going to be interesting is I have two little spots up here on the leading edge that I need to do. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a couple of really short pieces of this 3mm. I think this is 3mm. Might be 5. Whoa! Those tweezers are sharp. That was almost really bad. Ow. Okay. And I'm going to try and set this in here somehow. Just like that. Just like that. There we go. Okay. Well, that wasn't so hard. Let's see if we can do it twice. There we go. I hope it works. All right. The only other thing I want to do is I want to put get that center covered up a little bit. Now you would think, what's the chances you're going to get some overspray in the center panel of that wing right there? You'd be pretty surprised where paint can end up when you're spraying it. So I am just going to come in here like this and just kind of lay that in there. Now, if I was painting this with acrylics, and I'm not saying I get sloppier with acrylics, but if I was painting this with acrylics, I wouldn't be that concerned about it. And the reason is that acrylics are pretty easy to touch up. They're pretty unforgiving. They're pretty forgiving when it comes to touching up. Enamels, lacquers, not so much. You can pretty much always tell where the touch-up was. With acrylics, you can hide it pretty easily. You know, you can touch it up with a sponge. And when you get your clear coats on and whatnot, you probably won't be able to see it, but that's not necessarily true with a enamel. And I don't know why, you know. I mean, it's just, I'm just talking from experience. I have no idea why that is, other than it is. One little more piece. One little more piece. Did I just say that? One little more piece. Wow. So, So I'm going to take, first thing I'm going to do is this thing keeps popping up and it's driving me nuts. Okay. Then I want to get this one right in here. Good to go. We got it all? I think we got it all. I think we're ready for paint. Oh, no, there's one little spot right there. Like I was saying earlier, you may look at that and think, oh, that's fine. Nah, the paint will get everywhere. You know, it's little bitty bits of paint pigment flying through the air, going wherever they want to go. And believe me, they do. They go wherever they want to go. There we go. And there's some really funky looking stuff here, but at the end of the day, you're just trying to cover stuff up, right? It doesn't matter. Now there's I can mask those struts, and I might, but in all honesty, you know, when this gets painted, it's going to be on here like this. And you can take something like, I tend to keep Post-it note. This obviously isn't a Post-it note, but I keep Post-it notes around. And with a Post-it note, you can just hold it up here while you're spraying, you know. So what I would likely do on this is do the nose first, just to get it out of the way and get those struts out of the way so I don't have to worry about them, and the canopy area. And then I'll start with all the crevices, you know, in here, the fairings, the edges in here. You know, you want to get in all the crevices and stuff first, because if you don't, paint will build up in there, and then you'll end up with paint builds up in there. Wow. Who knew I was so wise? Wise ass, maybe. But anyway. Yeah, so there we are. It's masked, and it's ready for some RLMO2, which I'm not going to do until, I don't know, I might do it tomorrow. It all depends on how I feel. I've been a little sluggish the last week or so. Work has been crazy. We got a new owner, and it's a challenge, me being the general manager and having differences of opinion on how things should happen. But you know, that's life. That's life. And so this week's going to be the first full week that he's in the office with us, so it could be interesting. But that has nothing to do with this 109, does it? Not a thing. I'm just going to stick that there. I noticed it. Here, let me show you. Whoa. So you see see how this is lifted up because this flaps down. So I'm going to come in here, cut that so that I can get that all the way up on that aileron, so that the paint doesn't sneak underneath and get on that aileron, because it will. You know, I'm telling you, it will. You'll sit there and look at it and go, how's it going to get under there? Well, because it's under pressure and it bounces off of surfaces and stuff, and it gets in all these crooks and nooks and crannies and stuff, and before you're going, what? How in the heck did that happen? So There she be. Kind of looks like an F-84 with the pods out on the wingtips. So yeah, hey, that was a little bit of yammering, and you got to be bored out of your mind watching me mask this thing. And it took about an hour. It took about an hour to do that. Like I said, it'll take, you know, a couple minutes to mix the paint, about 45 seconds to a minute to shoot it. We'll call it 3 minutes. We might do 2 coats. Who knows? And then it takes, like 3.5 days to clean the airbrush. And you're good. No. And it takes about, a couple of minutes to take the masking off, and there you are. So hey, that's it. We'll probably next week. This thing will probably be in paint. It might have decals on it. It might be all done. And this is the first. I don't think I've built a 109 since. I know it's been a long time. So. Yeah. So, hey, I'd be interested to see what you guys think about that HK B-17 kit. I'm, we're looking at what, an $80 P38 kit, and if, like I said, I'm thinking it's going to be $150. I don't know. That's just my guess. I have no idea. If it goes to 200, I could believe that too. I that wouldn't surprise me. So it's going to be interesting. And the thing is, it's like every other time there's a new release or whatever. You have all these people, oh, awesome, da da da, this and that, and that's great, and I can't wait, and da 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 da, and then they're going to drop the price on like a bombshell, and everybody will be like, I'm not paying that. Well, what, do you think it was going to be $10? Hey, I'll give you $10 for that monogram B-17. Yeah, that's me. Honestly, I've got the B-17F, the Revell kit. I've got the original release of the monogram B-17G, and I have the Pro Modeler version with the Cheyenne turret and the figures and all that. And that's plenty of B-17s. That's a lot of building. And I'm not going to go crazy on them. I'm just going to build because they got to go on the ceiling. I have nowhere to put them. I keep looking at this corner I got over here, and it's like, I could build a case that would be like 24 by 24 to the roof. Nah. The thing is when you build cases, the wood's relatively cheap. The glass is what kills you. And you kind of have to have glass shells. I guess you don't have to. But if you don't, you end up with all this lighting and these dark corners. And anyway. So yeah, I just, I think that's really interesting that somebody, people have been screaming about it for a long time. And now there's finally one coming, and I just want to see how well it sells. I don't know how well they did with the 32nd scale ones. I think they sold a lot of them, but I don't. I saw a built F at Commies Fest. I don't know. It's like the old monogram B-36. I mean, I have one. It's still, is it wrapped? No, it's not wrapped. But You don't see those built that often. I'm gonna build that one of these days because that'll be cool. That's a cool looking bird, and if you've ever seen one, they're huge, 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 huge. I mean, beyond huge. So anyway, hey, that's it. I'm gonna go do something. I'm not gonna do this. That was enough for me for tonight. I should have done this a week ago, but I wasn't into it. Like I said, it's been busy and all this other stuff going on. I just wasn't into it. It's taken me a long time to build this Airfix kit. And I could go back on the blog and see when I started it. But yeah. I gotta change this camera because it's way up here. I'm gonna end up like walking around. I'm gonna be stuck. Yeah, check out those F-14 tails too. Those are pretty cool. Pretty great idea. Awesome. I can't say enough about it. Really cool. That's it. Hey, take care of the people you love. We'll see you next time. Bye now.